Hi guys, welcome back to another exciting video. Today's video is coming from Together. It's titled Net Zero. You care so much about this topic, but you know nothing, absolutely nothing about it. Okay, this is going to be like an interview or something like that. But before we dive into it, I'm okay. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time here, do want to like, share, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. If you love what I do, you love to see my face, you love to appreciate me, you could use the super thanks button to appreciate me with whatever you can afford. Okay, I would really appreciate that. Now let's dive straight into the video.
You want an international emergency treaty to end fossil fuel use, basically all fossil fuel use by 2030. This isn't about not being allowed to buy a diesel car in 2030. This isn't about having to use solar power panels on your house. All fossil fuel use ended by 2030. Tell me what you think the impact of that would be on people's everyday lives.
So we acknowledge that this will be it will require an emergency response, and it will require a massive change in the way that we live our lives.
Tell us the impact.
However,
not however. What will the impact be of people not using fossil fuel in 2030? Tell us what the impact would be. What would your everyday life be like and mine?
What will the impact be if we keep using fossil fuels?
No, that wasn't the question,
I think that's a better
Ella.
question. Because if we do that, we will face collapse of the NHS.
We're all going to die.
Face collapse
We're all
of
going to die.
social services.
Yes. We're all going to die. What is the impact? 2030, us no longer using fossil fuels.
So this has been detailed quite heavily on the Just World website, and I'd encourage anyone that's listening.
So tell us. You must have read it. You're an activist.
Things like funding free public transport. It will include insulating homes. There's a lot more steps to this, but you're absolutely right.
No, Ella, with all due respect, you're not answering my question. If we don't use fossil fuels, we can't build anything anymore. That requires it. We won't be able to operate trains. Most of our cars won't operate, including, by the way, the electric cars, because electric cars are actually, by the way, they're made using fossil fuels, usually in factories on the other side of the world who use fossil fuels to make them. We won't even be able to keep the lights on most of the time, put heating on. We won't be able to have aircon when it's hot, when we're burning. We won't be able to heat our homes when it's cold, when, by the way, more people die by a factor of 9 to 1. We won't be able to get planes. We won't be able to travel anywhere. I don't know how we're going to be running ferries and boats so we can travel at all. We won't be able to have mobile phones. We won't be able to have cookers. How do you think life is going to be in 2031, or even indeed 2 days after we stop using fossil fuels in 2030? Because you seem to be very blasé about that. What you're looking at is turning us back to pre-industrial revolution times, when life was really bloody hard.
Well, Julia, you're forgetting that renewable energy exists, so we absolutely can still have energy. But
no, clarify. So let me clarify. Do you know how much the percentage of our actual energy use is renewable energy at the current time, and how much you predict it will be by 2030?
I'm aware that it needs to increase, and this is why we need an emergency plan right now in 2024.
It's not even all of our 20% need for electricity. So what are you going to do for the rest of it?
Julia, this is why we're calling on our government to enact this emergency plan to stop the burning and use of fossil fuels by 2030. This is why we need an emergency plan.
You think we're going to be able to replace all of our fuel needs by 2030? It's 2020. We're halfway through 2024. You think by 2030 we'll be able to replace all of our fossil fuel needs with renewables?
It's absolutely an ambitious plan, but the alternative is accepting that we're going to be facing mass death.
We're going to face. So remind me, how are we facing mass death? Remind me, how are we facing mass death if we don't do this?
Well, basically, there's a climate crisis, and we're pumping carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which is heating the planet to unlivable temperatures.
Unlivable temperatures. Nothing in the IPCC report says that.
It does. It talks
doesn't. No, it doesn't. Nothing in the report say that.
There's temperatures that humans can grow food inside of, and they can survive within.
There is nothing whatsoever predicting any of that. I mean, you need to read up on this thing you care so strongly about, Ella.
Julia, we know for a fact that if we keep heating the planet in this way, there will be massive crop failure. This is already actually, as you say, the planet is warming. We've had higher crop yields in recent years with a warmer planet. Funny that, isn't it? I just like to say, come on any time. But I do think you need to read up on the subject, which is something you've been arrested, you've even been convicted a few times. You care so strongly about this topic that you know absolutely nothing about, which I find extraordinary.
I don't know if it is this interviewer or I don't even know. See, even if your guest is saying rubbish, in quotes now, because I think that lady, or I don't know what gender she is, was trying to make a point. But in my own opinion, to be very honest, I feel like when you ask your guest a question, you actually have to calm down. I'm sure before the whole interview, you guys must have had a question, like you guys must have had a conversation before the whole interviewing on camera, right? I'm sure, definitely, you guys must have talked about it. You know that probably the girl or the lady doesn't go straight to her point. She loves to beat around the bush before she actually goes to her conclusion. You should know that. You know, bringing up somebody on live TV to interview her and then cutting her off at every point, it just feels somehow to me. Now it feels like this interviewer wanted to, except I'm missing something somewhere, so you guys should actually put me in the know if I'm missing something, because I stand corrected. Okay, so if there is probably an interview that has gone up before and there's been a story behind this whole attitude, to be honest, I'd love to know. Now there are people that would love to beat around the bush before they go to the conclusion. You should know that before you call me up on your show to talk about a certain thing, right? Yeah, you should know that I love to talk about things before I go to straight to the point. Not calling me up to come and do an interview and then you wouldn't even allow me make a point. I probably she was trying to, what she wanted the guest to say something like the impact of fossil fuels in 2030 and all of those conversation. Probably she needed a particular conversation. She needed her to say a particular thing. But I'm just coming from the point that this guest, right, might have the same thing in mind, but she wanted to. There are times that you want to make a point, but you want to build the conversation before you actually make your point. That's how some people actually converse, like me. I love to build my conversation before I actually go straight to the point. So you, as an interviewer, you need to be patient. I feel like she wasn't patient enough, and I also felt, I kind of felt, maybe because I'm younger and I've had to have conversation with older people, they kind of always look down on younger people, making it look like as if they have no knowledge about anything. Yeah, I agree. Older people probably would have, of course, they have more knowledge about certain things more than older people. So I've been in a situation whereby I have knowledge about what I'm talking about. If only you would hear me out and hear what I've got to say. If you actually want to listen to me, if you actually want to hear what I want to say, you have to actually listen to me. Cutting her off throughout the conversation made it look like as if the girl didn't know what, even if, right? Even because I honestly couldn't get anything from this girl. The interviewer was just cutting in and cutting in and cutting in, and I couldn't even make any, making it look like as if the lady or the girl didn't know what she was trying to talk about, even if she didn't. You didn't even give her like a chance. You were asking a question, you just wanted a yes or no answer. Do you understand? Well, so I just feel like that was what I just felt going on. And this age thing that, oh, I'm older, so I know better than you. You have to read up about these things. You don't know this thing. You're not gonna. Now, I'm not trying to put anybody down here. This is how I feel. And this is what I think about this video. Maybe the girl didn't have enough knowledge about what you're trying, but you call somebody up on your show to have a conversation. You should actually listen to the person. You should actually I mean, of course, before you actually publish the video, right, you have to actually edit and cut out some things, and then even if it's to post the interview, except it's actually a live show. I can see it's a live show. But I mean, yeah, before you call the person up on a live show, you should have had a conversation at the back of the, behind cameras, and talk about what you want to. Of course, that's what they do. But anyway, if you guys know the background story about what's going on here, I'd love to know, right? I'd love to know. If you guys understand what's going on here, I'd love to know. But I'd love you guys to give your opinions and suggestions. What do you guys think about this video? What do you guys think about the interviewer and the guest? Do you understand what they were saying? Because I honestly, I understand her questions, but I couldn't make anything out of what the guest was saying because the interviewer kept on cutting her off. So please, you guys should please drop your opinions and what you guys think about the video in the comment section below. Do well to please answer my questions in the comment section below. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.